can you send a message to Poppy GK? I couldn't reach him. He said he was going to be here tonight.
I'll get him on Skype.
If you can send him a link, get us behind in here.
I'll send him a link.
Oh, shit.
All right, guys, and we are live. This is the Irish Podcast, episode 34. Your host, the Titanfall Princess, and welcome to our podcast, okay? Now, every week we get together to discuss gaming and other topics, but before we get into that, okay, we're going to have the panel introduce themselves. We're going to start with, actually, two are back. We're going to start out with 7th level. Introduce yourself.
Hello there, everybody. I'm your friendly neighborhood 7. And have you ever noticed that if Smokey Dog was a black guy, he'd look just like Blackbuster Critic? I just realized that today. That's my random thought for today. Carry on now.
You're retarded. I swear to God, you are 7th. You never change, I swear.
Go look at Smokey Dog and then look at good old Blackbuster Critic. Aside from their skin tone, they could be twins. I swear to God.
Okay. Next up, we got, guys, he's back from overseas. We got Porter Rock.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Porter Rock 77. I am back for my Euro trip, hitting this gaming community hard, bringing back the truth. Besides 7th level, because he always speaks the truth, you know what I'm saying? I'm the second guy that speaks the truth, you know? But it's good to be back, and it's good to be back here on the Tippawgcast. Let's do it.
Okay. Next up, we got another regular member. We got Frozen.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Is it Frozen?
Yeah, you can hear me?
That is awesome. Straight to my man plays no
I'm
games.
messing with you. You know I'm messing with you. No, Frozen's to the point. That's it.
That's it.
Next, but not least, we have some other people that are going to try to jump in here, but unfortunately, one's having a connection problem, and the other one we're sending a link out to again. But before we continue, we got Mr. Corleone.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back again. Hope everybody in the chat is good. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Now, just to let you know, into gaming, Princess got something to say.
Uh-oh.
Because my first topic will be me discussing a little drama that happened over the week with a former member of the podcast named Demetrius.
Speak on it.
Donkey fucker!
So there you go. About 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks, going on 3, okay, we did a show off about someone in the chat and left the podcast live on air without telling any one of us on the podcast about it, okay? Now, he's chat so many times and took up so much airtime, okay? It's just pathetic. After that happened, I didn't think much about it because I know the way he gets, okay? So I didn't think much about it. What I did was I accepted to what I did was I was going to just give him, I expected just to give him a break from the show. Maybe he just needs some time, things were going on or whatever, and so forth. So the next week happens, and I'm hearing about him DMing other members, me over and over about the podcast. So I told him once again, live on air. He left the show without telling us. And it's not only that, he left the podcast over a troll in the damn chat. Basically, after last week's show, he ended up, listen guys, listen people, he ended up doing a 1 hour and 20-minute video about me.
Facts.
Also trashing the podcast and lying about a lot of shit. He said, oh, I really never wanted to be on the podcast, and you know, it's lame, and it's this, that, and the other. Well, you know what? Now, I didn't listen to the whole video because once I bump into one lie about me, I know more's bound to happen. Ever made videos or live streams talking about members of the Irish podcast in any bad way. A lot of people on here that disrespect me and do whatever. I never made a video about them. Up that I helped him out. Not that I helped him out. He got online and called me his sister. Ain't your motherfucking sister. Is that what you do to your sister? Wow. That's how you do with family. All right. But even that. Advice on doing videos and live streams, okay? Because all he does is anime, which I put on my podcast to give him a break because that's what he's promoting. And I know a lot of people hated that shit, but I gave him the time to do that. I gave him the time to do that to promote himself. I hated it. All right, I still did it. And all he streams is either live or either anime or WWE. Okay, fuck that shit, that weird ass shit. Come on now, that shit's fake as hell. Don't even go there. Okay, but anyway, and even after all that, he talks shit about me. Then he took back all the good things he ever said that he ever told me personally. I talked to him personally and he took back all that shit. So he ended up sending me an apology saying he had a hard time and took it all out of me. Fucker, I ain't nobody's fucking punching bag. I'll tell you that right now. What ultimately led me to deciding he will no longer be a member of the Irish Podcast, because I do not take people trashing me on my podcast and going out making videos about me. He got personal with me and disrespected not only me, but the members on my podcast, or excuse me, on our podcast, guys. This is ours. So he just disrespected our podcast. Stop saying me because it's ours. You make this podcast with me, so I got to get out of that. Okay, over troll pissing him off. Okay, personally done talking about this. But if anyone, before we move on, has anything to say about it, do it now. Otherwise, we're just gonna move on.
Man, ignore that piece of shit.
Respect it as well.
I said, ignore that piece of shit. Keep it going. I say we keep it pushing. Fuck them.
Amen.
What about you, Seven?
Dude,
Yeah,
boring as fuck anyway. How many stories am I going to have to listen to related to his goddamn girlfriend? Hee-haw! Hee-haw! Donkey fuck!
What about you? What about you, Mr. Corleone? Because you were there when this shit happened. What do you think?
Hey man, I'm new, man. I don't even know that nigga, so you know what I'm saying? He said my name in the video though. He said my name in the video, but he was just talking about some, you know, I really don't have no comment on it. I don't know the nigga, so
all right.
You know, it's whatever.
Frozen, you anything to say
I'll
about
say this. I think I didn't interact with him. I think the one time I interacted with him a lot on the podcast was after that, you know, when our thing went down and he started saying, hey, Puerto Rock, on your channel, you need to do this and this. I'm like, bro, calm down. I'm going to do my channel the way I'm going to do my channel. You relax. Like, calm down, bro. That was really my only interaction.
But see, people, Puerto Rock people, people don't understand something. You and I didn't break apart. You were doing a direction and had people that I wasn't fond of because you want to do a different direction. Together, we will go, you do your thing and I do mine, and we're still going to support each other, and you're going to be here.
And that's
so people don't get that.
You know what's funny? People don't understand that we still support each other because we're real life friends. You know, fuck the YouTube shit and all that shit. You and I are real life friends. You know, we confide in each other on a lot of our personal lives and shit. If YouTube goes away, me and you are still chilling. Some of these people, YouTube breaks up, they'll never talk to each other. They won't talk to each other no more. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't understand. I got a question.
Exactly. But see, that's what I'm saying. People got pissed off about that, but they don't understand. You and I got in a private chat and discussed this between each other. You and me together. So if they're going to bring that up, they're just lame. They're just fucking lame. Did we or did we not get in a personal chat and talk over this together? We did. We talked about what was going on. And it's not like we ever said I'd never, ever be there again. were doing certain things, and I said, well, when it's suited for me to come, and you said when it's suited, I'll be there. If not, we do whatever.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. So I don't understand where all this bullshit came from.
Because they love
Here,
that
right
shit.
now with that.
People love that shit. Look at the shit that's happening with Weapon Wheel. People love this shit. They talk a good game about keep it gaming, but in reality, it's bullshit. Everybody loves to watch Love and Hip Hop. That's what fucking attracts people.
Facts.
They love to see. They love to watch a disaster.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. You know, all this shit about keep it gaming, bullshit, bro. Bullshit. I could make a video strictly talking about a game. It might get 100 views. But let me bring up some bullshit on somebody. Yo, that shit gets like 600, 700 views within the first 10 minutes.
Well, that's
Come
really
on.
what Weapon
Come
Wheel
on.
Podcast is it's a podcast soap opera.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's the young and the loafless.
You know what's sad? I think you and I are the only two that get that. We're showing our age here.
Which I ain't got nothing against them, but shit, you know, it's like every week
Hey,
two of
what's
them are
up,
fighting
Rambo?
with each other.
No, it's good. The young and the loafers.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, we get it.
That's why I was welcoming you.
Yeah,
I want to know what you thought about the subject, because you and I talked about this personally, how shit was going down every week. And one thing people don't realize before you say what you got to say, Rambo, is that off. He was going to get a second chance to just get his shit together. What I mean, I don't know if he had personal problems in his life, job, whatever. Shit together, give him a break, and bring him back. Video.
Yeah. No. I mean,
I
know that you and I talked, and what the deal was like you were planning on like giving him at least that week, the next week that we did that podcast, like that he missed out or he like flipped out because he wasn't invited. With that, the plan was to actually give him that week to cool down, figure out what's going on, because every single week it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Is that he would take 30, 40 minutes out of our podcast to bitch at somebody in the chat over something he said, somebody said to something else in the chat. Like they didn't even say it to him. They might have said something like Rambo sucks or Rambo's a dick or, you know, Titanfall Princess is a bitch or something like that. Something stupid that didn't even relate to him. But he decided to spend 30 minutes trying to defend everybody's honor in the podcast like he was some sort of bodyguard. And like we kept telling him, man, just ignore it, leave it alone. We see it. You're a mod in the chat. Just simply remove it, remove the comment and move on. Like, don't even mess with it. And like he continued on and he got worse and worse. And I don't know what personal issues he's having, like with work, and because he's always doing it while he's at work. So I can imagine like what the people inside of his work thought, like whenever they're seeing him do this. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. He just seemed to like have some sort of personal issue with him within himself that caused him to like fly off the handle, like easily. He was just easily offended really quickly. So he's giving him that time to cool down. But now that you start going out and making videos and going back, like that's just, come on, man. Like we're adults here, man. There's no reason to go make a video about something. You follow her on, Twitter, I see you constantly in a damn PlayStation chat with a PlayStation party chat with her. Jump into the fucking chat and actually be a man and talk to her about it. Figure out the fuck's going on instead of making a fucking video. Do that. Once you do that, I'm done, man. Fuck you. You're done to me, man. Because like you're just nothing but like the only thing you're doing is looking for views at that point, caring more about yourself than you are the people that you're dealing with. So. As far as I'm concerned, he's done with me, man. I have no respect for him at all, man. Because he could have simply been a man and just simply came to one of you or me or whatever and talked.
That's that's my point. You know, I didn't want to get on this topic, but I had to let people know what was going on because, you know, people coming at me and, you know, I'm getting DMs and I'm sure you probably got some DMs and, you know, I didn't want to put this on the air, but since you're going to make a video and your video, you know, you think you got a lot of, what do you get, 25 views? That shit funny to me because you only got 25 views. But anyway, you thought that was going to damage me. But in the long run, what happened was you saying that you didn't get nothing out of this podcast. Well, when I met you and put you on this podcast, you had like 20-something subs. You had over 150 before you met me. Bullshit, bitch, because I was following you. I know what you got, all right? So that's bullshit, first of all. And I'm tired of people and doing that dumb shit and saying dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I just had to clear this up. The fact that he dissed all the members because we do this as a group, as a family. This is a family of gamers. It's just not me. Part of the podcast. I have some of the founding members on here, but what I'm saying is that it's our podcast. It's not just mine. So if you think you just disrespected me, no, you're disrespecting everybody else. You said he brought up everybody's names. Why did you? Because you were mad? What's the matter? You didn't get laid last night, so you got pissed off? Maybe the donkey didn't. Maybe he couldn't find a donkey. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
He spends enough time talking about his girlfriend on the podcast. But he ain't gonna. I don't know, man. Every damn story on the podcast relates to his girlfriend, but he gets on the mic and he sounds like a hairdresser. Who are you trying to convince, sir? Who are you trying to fool?
Y'all, it sound like you saying he ain't got no woman. Sound like you saying he ain't got no bitch. Somebody lying.
Well, he lied a lot in that video. A lot of people telling me. I didn't watch the whole thing, but a lot of people told me some of the shit he was saying. He lied a lot. He said the video was like, and you know what? I talk about PlayStation. He'll bash Xbox. But yet he'll ask me to get on there and play that fucking stupid game he wants to play all the time. I ain't getting on the Xbox and playing that stupid fucking game with you. Yes. So he got mad because I wasn't on there playing it. Get mad. I don't care. And then the only other thing you play is wrestling. Or your anime shit. Oh, what was that fucking game he wanted to play all the time? Oh, shit.
Yo, somebody got some cartoons.
I don't even like it, so I can't even remember it.
Yeah, somebody needs to turn the cartoon down.
My bad. I was playing Persona.
You know what? Anyway, it's all right. Let's move on about this. It don't matter. I just had to say my piece. So let's move on and let's actually get to what this podcast is about with all of us. Let's get back to gaming. Let's have some fun. Okay. Now, okay, so like I said, on to gaming. We finally got a release date for Gran Turismo Sport. I'm going to get it day one. And in the past, I loved Gran Turismo 5. Probably the most out of the entire series. To me, Gran Turismo 5 really taught you how to appreciate getting a better car and how to drive properly. It had a good soundtrack to me. And to have fun online, and it also showed you how to have fun online in the online community. That said, even though I'm getting G Sport Day 1, I have to say I'm not hyped for the game. I'm not sure why, but in the first Gran Turismo game, I could care less about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really like what I would really like to see though is what do you call it? A Drive Club 2 game. To be honest, is anyone here on the panel getting GT Sport? It is a multi-question thing. Are you hyped for it? And since it's being released the same month as Forza 7, Wolfenstein, and The Evil Within 2, do you think that will hurt GT Sports in any way?
I'll start this off.
Okay.
So for the first answer, hell no, I'm not getting it. But that's only because I hate the racing genre. It's the worst genre in the history of gaming. Number two, do I think it's gonna hurt? Do I think Forza or Evil Within? They ain't nothing gonna hurt. GT's the biggest franchise on the PlayStation platform for whatever reason. I can't scratch my head around it. But that damn game sells like 5-6 million on the damn handheld alone. You know what I'm saying? So there's a huge fan base. There's a faithful fan base that loves that game. They wait for that game, and it's gonna sell blockbusters. And I don't think Forza. Now, if it's Forza, potentially could be the better game, but no matter what the result is, as far as the sales or the attraction from the fan base, GT5 is going to be a hit. GT Sport is going to be a hit to the fan base and PlayStation. For some reason, it has a huge, big following that made it the biggest franchise in PlayStation history, and there's nothing Forza is going to be able to do to stop it. That's just it. I don't know why, but that's just the reality. And that's all I have to say on that.
Isn't Forza like the highest selling game on Xbox?
No, Halo.
It's like not like in history, but I mean like since the Xbox One.
I think it's higher. It might be
Halo
higher.
is.
I think it's still Halo. Maybe as a franchise, because they've released the damn game every single year. Maybe in that respect. But as an individual title, I think Halo 5 is the highest selling exclusive title.
Okay.
On the Xbox platform.
Come on, Puerto Rock. I can actually see you putting that helmet on and getting in that car and just driving around that track.
Girl, I'm not paying $60 so I can do left turns for 4 hours.
I am, man. And it's not left turns, man.
Boring, man.
It's not left turns.
Every year, people buy this game to drive the same 1985 Monte Carlo on the same Nuremberg track. How many freaking times can you drive the same car on the same track?
Do you buy NBA 2K or anything like that?
Nope.
Do you buy any sports game?
I buy every other year.
So how many times can you play the same basketball team on the exact same track?
No, well, the
exact same court.
No, some years the New York Giants suck. Some years they're good. So depending on the Madden, they could be a very shitty team, which makes playing online very challenging because I don't have the players. And then other times they have a very good season. So it's a different thing. But a 1985 Monte Carlo ain't changing at all. It's the same car you're driving.
It's not going to be a 1995 car, though. It's not going to be a 1995 car.
No, I'm saying it's a joke.
I know, but I mean,
it's the same shit. It's a boring genre. I mean, really.
I love it, man.
Who can make a left turn faster than the other guy?
But it's not a left turn. It's a joke. Another joke.
You got the occasional right turn.
It's going to be a lot of right turns with the simulation racers because they're not NASCAR, but
I don't know. I can't fuck with that. It's boring.
Do we know if they're going to actually have a PSVR component to it?
Yeah, it's already confirmed.
It shows it on the cover of the game. You can see
it's right on the cover.
It's going to be. Well, I haven't seen the cover yet, but I mean, it's definitely going to be a day one for me. I'll be playing that in VR because I love Drive Club VR, so I'll be playing the. I mean, there's nothing more. I guess real to me, like to be able to sit with that VR helmet on and be able to be basically in the damn car while you're racing. My next step is to actually get one of the actual racing chairs so that way I can have the full on setup to where the screens and, it doesn't really matter if the screen's in front of me, but the screen's going to be in front of me. The steering wheel, the console, I'll have a console specifically for the racing setup. I love GT, man. Gran Turismo is like one of the best and is to me the best racing series. Forza's taken over simply because of the fact that Gran Turismo has been kind of absent for a while, and we're not going to talk about how terrible Gran Turismo 6 was. I'm hoping that it's.
I have a question for you. Would you like to see a Drive Club 2 game?
Drive Club was actually I love Drive Club. The only thing I don't think we'll ever see a Drive Club 2 because they closed the studio. But I mean I'd love to see a game with those visuals at 60 frames per second.
If they had more customization for Drive Club, that shit would have been lit. That was the problem.
That was really the big problem with the Drive Club, but that and not 60 frames per second. To me, a racer needs to be 60 frames per second.
I agree. I'm not excited for that shit though. And not because I like racing games, but I'm more of a mod racer. I like more arcadey races.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But if it's good, I might check it out. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it day one though. I'll probably buy it later on.
Yeah. The racing games would be a lot better if you take out the bullshit cars and tracks and add real people and add real gameplay. Then them shits will be good.
I need good music when I'm driving, and Forza used to have that terrible music, like the same shit over and over.
Oh, they had nasty.
You gotta have good music.
That shit was horrible.
Need for Speed was pretty bad. Like that last one where you had all the people in there that looked like they were happy to see you when you walked into the garage. Like these people that are just they look fake. They're like the actors in the game or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I want more realistic where people are you go in the garage and something's going wrong. Everybody's got pissed off faces. Everything ain't perfect even at a racetrack. If you go to a real car race, shit's going wrong. Mad, the head mechanic mad, this one mad, that one. Show more emotions. Not everybody just smiling, waving. Hey, that's corny. That they need to take out of the games. Make it more realistic.
There's also 2 other games that month that you forgot. Shadow War and Assassin's Creed are also in that month. So I don't know how.
True. No, that's true. I forgot about those.
I don't know how big those are going to affect.
Well,
those won't affect the racing genre. The racing genre, like nothing's going to affect GT Sports sales.
Nah, nothing.
Just like Porter Rock said. I mean, GT sells no matter what. Like let's put it this way: 6 sold like what was it, like 6 or 8 million, I think. Whenever it was like one of the final games on PS3. So I mean, that
was considered low.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely going to sell. I mean, whether or not it'll be good or not, that's gonna have to wait to see. Just like you said, Forza could be better, but it's never going to touch Gran Turismo's numbers and sales just for like whatever reason. I don't know. The dedicated fan base to Gran Turismo is unreal. When it comes to the other games, I mean, those since they're not even in the same genre, like they won't take away any sales from Gran Turismo or even Forza, because the way you got to look at that is like usually people will decide, like if I'm gonna buy like a shooter, okay, which shooter am I gonna buy? Or if I'm gonna buy like a racing, which racing am I gonna buy? Remember that Forza, Project Cars 2, and Gran Turismo all released within 2 weeks of each other. Project Cars 2 is actually just doomed to fail. Like in between Forza and Gran Turismo, the Project Cars 2 will never even see the light of day.
And I don't know who asked for the Crew 2, but that's also coming out, I think, next year.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell was stupid enough to ask for that, because
that shit is trash, man. That game.
Hey, Seventh, what do you think about this? You ain't even talking.
Well, I was giving everybody else a chance to speak, get their piece out. Now, first of all, I got to say to Porter Rock, and I'm not a big fan of the racing genre either. But if you really think that the racing genre is the worst gaming genre in the history of gaming, I invite you to sit down and enjoy any given Japanese dating sim and then get back to me. But saying that, I'm not a fan of the simulation style racers neither. I can respect them for what they're doing, but they're not fun to me. They're kind of slow and boring to me. My favorite racer of last gen was Burnout Paradise. That was my favorite last gen, and I want to Burnout Paradise too. Criterion, you listening? Burnout Paradise 2. But as far as Gran Turismo Sport, what I feel happened here is this. I feel that Sony was really pushing for things to get people to go out and buy this VR helmet. And so at some point they had like you know how they used to do they do these little prequels to their games, like before Gran Turismo 5 came out, you had the Gran Turismo whatever the hell it was called, the little prequel to it that had just like a sampling of it. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody?
No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically like a couple. It was like just a handful of the tracks and a handful of the cars that would eventually make it into Gran Turismo 5. Oh, Gran Turismo 5 Prologue.
It was Prologue.
Well, they used to do those prologues, right? Well,
there was also Gran Turismo HD, the one they had on PS3. They sold for like $30.
Right. So I think that's what Gran Turismo Sports initially started out as. It was going to be kind of a prologue to GT7 to keep people tied over. And Sony came in and said, "Well, we need something to push this helmet, so let's slap some 3D on there." And what we'll do is we'll use that as a way to advertise this as a good product for the esports market, and everyone will go out and they'll buy a helmet so they could go and compete at these big esport events and play Gran Turismo Sport. So they made it all about the online, they made it all about the multiplayer, and everything that I've seen that's advertising about it is helmet. Now I've got Drive Club VR, and the reason that I have that is because they knocked it down to like $15, $19 or something like that, and I picked it up on a fire sale for $8. And you know, if you're not the type of person that naturally gets sick by VR anyway, you know, it's a fun racing experience. I was not a huge fan of Drive Club. I didn't give it the most positive review in the world. I've been told that some of the stuff I had problems with was fixed later in patches, but I haven't gone back to try that. But I think Gran Turismo Sport, it's going to sell well because of its name, but I feel people that are used to, like, you know, the Gran Turismo 5s and the games like that are going to sit down with the actual feature set of what this game has, and they're going to be disappointed with it. That's just
my thought. That was my thought. I said I liked the 5. I want the game. I do want the game day one, but I said I don't know why, and that's probably the reason why. You know, I don't know. Anything to add to that one?
They need to make a new Mod Nation racer. That's what they need to make. Whoever, they need to make that front, what is that, front end, front line? I forgot the name of the company, man, that made Mod Nation. That was a great game. I used to love to play that online. And you can make your own tracks, and you can make your own characters. And you can make
when that game first came out, though, it was shit.
Yeah, but you know, like, as it kept going, they started making it. That shit was lit, man.
But I
remember you could get 5 and 6 minutes waiting for a match to start.
Fix the game right, and you can design your own car, your own character, your own tracks, and have everybody put that online. So you got different tracks, your tracks, their tracks, your characters, their characters, whatever, your cars, their cars. That probably would work very well if they. Yeah.
We see there was a quasi sequel to it because the guys that made it made Little Big Planet Karting, and it was basically the same game as Mod Nation. It just had a Little Big Planet, you know, skin over it.
Yeah, it's true. Let's move on. We got other topics, so let's move on, guys. Okay, now I don't know if you guys saw this, but I saw a room on Twitter and about 2 other websites that said Xbox is already being worked on right now and has a code name. I could care less because I'm not even buying the Xbox One X. Okay, I'm not. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I don't care. But funny that it's acceptable for the new Xbox to be good news. But but you or I say anything about the PS5, it's considered it's like boo, it's bad news. Or some fanboys will say with our PS4s. Did anybody else hear any of these rumors about a new besides the Xbox X coming out, being in development?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw some news articles claiming that it was, the next generation Xbox was already in development.
But remember the news articles. If you actually paid attention to them, like reference to where they got this information through Jez Corden, and basically because he tweeted out saying the next Xbox is being worked on, and it already has a code name, and so everybody started they took his tweets because they took a screenshot of them and actually put them in some of these articles. And then they wrote an article based on that. So we have to look at the source. This is the same guy that said, guaranteed, it's confirmed. He's already seen the footage. He already knows for sure that Star Wars Battlefront's going to run native 4K, 60 frames per second on Xbox One X. As soon as E3 rolled around, he came back and said, maybe I should wait for confirmation before I actually put information out there that I don't know for sure. He doesn't know shit. Like, he's not an insider. The only thing he does is he works at Windows Central. He doesn't actually have in direct contact with like Phil Spencer and work alongside of them and know all the shit that's going alongside there. Phil Spencer actually talks to Tim Dog more than he talks to Jez Corden. So,
oh shit.
This is the person that is where the information is coming from. I probably bet that there is another Xbox actually being worked on. It's simply because it takes so long for these consoles to actually get started and put in production and researched and all that stuff like that. No surprise there. I like why it's news.
But Rambo, my one question is, why is it okay for everybody to say another Xbox before is in development and all this other shit when they said prior to that this is going to be the last Xbox done because we can upgrade it constantly? Say a PS5 is going to be developed, there's an issue with that.
Well, because
that was the question.
Well, what do you expect?
I mean, the reason why because they have the double standard. I mean, it's the same thing with every single thing that happens. I mean, exclusive games like you get a third-party exclusive deal on PlayStation, they hate it. They think it's anti-consumers. You know, they talk about exclusives are just completely anti-consumer. Something gets announced as an exclusive for Xbox, and they're praising it. It's the exact same thing. Like they have been shit on in regards to resolution, power, the number of games, actually the number of just exclusives in general, the quality of their exclusives, every last thing that a gaming console could actually do right, they've been shit on because they've been beat by the PlayStation 4 except in features. So I mean, they're going to look at every possible avenue to be able to say, okay, we got one up on PlayStation, except whenever the next thing comes out, and it's kind of like the same thing that like happened with the exclusives and everything else. As soon as like they're gonna shit on PlayStation for it, but as soon as it happens to Xbox, like they all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, well wait a minute, yeah, it's not so bad now. Kind of like checkerboard rendering, kind of like all this other stuff they said. I mean, because fanboys just like shoot themselves in the foot because they speak too soon, because they don't really think about going down the road whenever that shit's going to come to Xbox, or you know something's going to happen with Xbox in the exact same light, and they're going to be looking like they're double standard, which they do.
Well, yeah, it's the exact same thing that happened 6 months ago, because they were sitting there shitting on Sony about releasing the PlayStation 4 Pro, and then here comes the Xbox One S. They can't wait. They're so excited that they went out and bought their Xbox One S. Then the Xbox One X gets announced, and they're all excited. Can't wait. We're gonna dominate. This is clearly what's going to put us back on top. And I'm like, you just bought a fucking console after ripping on Sony fans for buying another fucking console, and now you're talking about buying another fucking console.
Yeah, it's all.
Could have just bought a PC. That damn money they spending
right,
on damn.
But then when they announced when this PlayStation 5 rumor comes out, oh, PlayStation 5, look, they're obviously releasing it early so they can compete with the One X. It's the same.
But guys,
shit.
you know what's funny? The Xbox One X hasn't even come out yet. Guys are harping on a new Xbox.
Can you pre-order that shit yet? I don't even think you can pre-order.
No, you can't pre-order.
No, PlayStation 4 is out already. So if they're going to work on a PlayStation 5, they have the right. It's been out. It's out.
I'm sure they were working on the PlayStation 5. But I'm sure they were working on the PlayStation 5 before the PlayStation 4 and Slim and Pro ever came out.
Yeah, they said that actually already, Rambo, that they were already working on it. Like, I don't understand why people in a hurry to move up to another generation.
No, they do this because y'all don't realize it takes 5 to 7 years, likely for them to actually like start the concept of or start the talk of a new PlayStation or a new Xbox to actually delivering it. It's not like they talk about it and 2 years later there's a console on the market. So I mean,
but Rambo, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, at least we know the facts that you just said. But what I'm saying is that they're hyping up another Xbox before this one even came out.
Yeah, that's just the fanboys. They're just trying to to do it so that they're ignorant. Like the fanboys will always show their ignorance and their double standards because, I mean, you'll have. Just fanboys actually on both sides. It seems to be happening a lot more on the Microsoft side here lately, but you'll have the fanboys like complaining about or like bitching about or making fun of, I guess, Sony's checkerboard rendering Xbox. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, the new Xbox is going to do checkerboard. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's like that now they have to have a double standard because they spoke too soon. They just try their best to piss somebody off or to get at somebody, and then they don't realize that you might want to hold off on what you're saying because the shit might just happen to you too. So
that's pretty much Rambo hit it pretty much on the point. The reason why the Xbox community, a lot of the fanboys look the worst, is because they jump on anything and they take it to the extreme, whether it's DX12 or the cloud, secret sauce. uncompromised 4K. They will jump on any topic, and instead of like stepping back a little bit, see how it plays out, wait for information, wait for some facts, they jump on it and they try to use it as a narrative to try to make the PlayStation 4 look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really their ultimate goal. You know, even like some of the dudes that say they own a PS4, I find it weird that you have Xbox dudes that spend money on a PS4, yet they wish it bad or they talk shit about it. I'm like, why would you spend money on a product and wish it bad? Like, you're the dumbass. You gave Sony your money. You're the idiot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If anything, you should be happy that some things are in place, that Sony's doing moves and stuff like that to make their gaming library bigger. I mean, what else did you buy the console for? Sometimes I think these guys are so demented that sometimes I honestly believe that they only bought the console so they can show the gaming community that they're credible and they're bullshit. That's it. They have no intention of playing it or using it or actually being a gamer. They just want to use it as a talking point. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, you know, because I talk to some of these guys. They'd be like, oh, yo, I got a PlayStation, so whatever. Okay, so let me see your trophy. They have it hidden. Okay, what games have you actually beat? Not bought or play, but you actually spent the time and beat. None. They own this console for 2-3 years, and they may have beat one game. Are you kidding me? One game. You understand what I'm saying? Like Xbox hardly has exclusives, and off the top of the head, I have like 9 games I want to play when I get it, and that I'm gonna beat, that I'm actually going to play and beat.
Well, to be fair, Porter Rock, there's a lot of their exclusives that I actually, like, I own every single one of their exclusives on Xbox One, every single one of them. There's a lot of their exclusives that I'm actually playing for, even from way back in the beginning. The ones that's actually even been free with Games with Gold that I'm playing right now, that I'm still getting rare achievements on just by beating parts of the story.
Yeah.
Like, these people don't even play their own fucking games, let alone PlayStation games.
Like, yo, I exposed these dudes like last year because somebody got a trophy of completing ReCore, right? And one Xbox dude was like, yeah, I beat ReCore, and I saw the picture. It said rare, 1.3%. What? And then I used that shit to talk some shit because I'm like, you're telling me only 1.3% of ReCore owners actually beat this fucking game?
Yep.
He's like, what you talking about? Look at the percentage. And then he took it down because he didn't want to make his community look bad. And I'm like, nah, I got that shit, son. 1.3% of people who bought ReCore bothered to beat it. So don't give me this shit as a good game, man. That's literally nobody. Nobody beat that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I saw everybody was congratulating him, but I saw a different information. I'm like, wait a minute, rare 1.3%. You're telling me only 1.3% of the people had this game beat it? Oh, you guys got exposed, and he took that post down quick.
I could go through almost all their exclusive and point that out in almost every single one of them. Even in the big multi-plat games, the ones that sell like crazy on their platform, just by beating the actual game, or just by going through, not even just beating the game, but just even going through the stories, like beat Chapter 2. That shit's a rare achievement, and it's a 2-year-old game. Like, how the hell is that even possible? How are you getting rare achievements for like progressing through a story that you had to progress through to beat the game 2 years later? There should not be any reason why like these things, like the regular normal achievements that you get for playing the game should be rare, because everybody that bought the game should at least play it, but they're not even playing them. They're just buying these games and doing whatever just for talking points. They don't even give a shit about playing them.
Yeah, you get a lot of Xbox, not to be on no fanboys, but you get a lot of Xbox dudes that's talking about what PlayStation got, and the majority of the people on my friends list, they don't even play none of the exclusives. Nobody bought Halo. Nobody playing Gears. Nobody played Quantum Break. I beat all that shit. You know what I'm saying? What's that?
Me too, Colio.
What's that game? Damn.
Which one?
Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
Me too.
It's another game, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I can't think of the shit. I'm trying to think of the game. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make is that motherfuckers be talking about what. Rise, I beat that. You know what I'm saying? Rise of the Tomb Raider, I beat that. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was, on Xbox, but they don't even play the games. So it's like, where's your talking point at? You know what I'm saying? You gonna talk about Forza every year? We're gonna talk about some real shit. I think they worried about the wrong thing. You worried about the hardware and you ain't got no fucking software.
And I don't
How
know
you
why.
having fun if you ain't got no software?
I don't know why everyone, like in general, is so. They want to move up to the next generation. You know what you're going to get the first 2 years? Remasters from this generation.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand. Don't you want the generation? I
You
want
know
the
what you want to know what they're like? Let me tell you what they're like.
Backwards compat now when it comes to the Xbox.
They're like that guy that you know in the neighborhood that you walk into his house and he's got like a room that's his study room that's like full of all these books, and he's maybe read 5 of them. He just wants everyone to see all those books on the shelf to think he's some kind of fucking intellectual.
Okay.
So they buy all these games. They buy all these games so they can post pictures on their Twitter showing how many games for their system they have, and then you go on their gamer tag or whatever.
They ain't beat shit.
Right, they ain't beat shit.
Okay, Dead Rising 4. That game came out last Christmas. So by now, people should have beat the game, right?
Yes.
16 point, not even 17% of the gamers that bought it have beat episode 1. Starting with episode 2, everything is rare.
Did they even buy the DLC?
8.77% and less have beat episode 2 on down. They're all every episode after 1 is rare achievements.
I was one of the few that beat that game. I was in that percentage because I beat the game.
I'm working on it now myself.
Rambo, how many people
beat
Voodoo Vince, Rambo? I want to know.
How many people what?
How many people beat Voodoo Vince?
Oh, I know I did, but let me go check real quick because that's the one game I actually love.
I mean, if those percentage points were based on like all registered Xbox Live accounts, a percentage of those,
I can understand that.
Then it would make sense.
Yeah, but this is every owner of the game. Everybody booted the game up.
Because even the free accounts have access to the trophies and all. I mean, achievements and stuff. So this counts everything.
The ones that beat Voodoo Vince is 11% of the owners.
Oh, wow.
11%. Like, that's just sad.
And a lot of people were trying to like praise Voodoo Vince, but hate on Mario, hate on Crash. Like, come on now, like you can't do that.
Exactly.
You're not even
I agree with you on that.
And they want to talk attachment rate. Well, that's cool. Like that. So that means y'all bought the game, but who gives a shit about how many people bought the game?
Well,
you're not gonna fucking play it.
We'll see when Cuphead comes out because that's supposed to be a hard game. Let's see if they're gonna play that.
I already have Cuphead.
It's a side scroller. Of course, it's going to be challenging.
Cuphead.
That's like all these whiners are complaining about how hard Crash Bandicoot is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nobody on the Xbox side going to buy. You may buy Cuphead. They ain't going to beat it. They're going to whine and cry like they do with every other game. They're going to play a half hour and say, oh, it's the best game ever. They'll tell you that, and they'll do a review, and it's done.
Hey.
That's what fanboys do.
Can I make a quick point just to put a little perspective?
Go ahead.
Horizon Zero Dawn sold over 4 million, right?
Right.
I'm looking at trophies right now. 8.3% platted the game. Not just beat. 8.3% had a platinum. As far as beat the game, 31.7%.
Well, there you go.
Of 4 million people.
I'm trying to platinum the game.
You see what I'm saying? But think about it. Like, this game has more people platting than people just simply beating Xbox games.
Mm-hmm.
Simply beating them.
Yep.
And you can beat the game on easy. That shit still counts as beating the game.
Yeah, it's a great game.
See, listen.
Uncharted 4 is another good example. Its platinum trophy is an ultra rare at 0.9%, but just beating the game, it's like the easiest 42%, light 38%, moderate 31%, hard 5%. People are at least playing it on normal. They're way higher percentages than what you're seeing on Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We're not trying to bash Microsoft. We're just trying to put out facts that are the truth 100 on this podcast. We all do. That's why we mix and mingle together, because we keep 100. We bring the facts. Y'all bringing facts. We're not lying about shit. Is that people don't get that. They think we're bashing something.
I
Only
have that
nine-
Uncharted Platinum.
Only
by the way.
only 19% beats Sunset Overdrive, and remember, Sunset Overdrive was free to everybody who paid with gold.
That was free 2 times. It was
Yeah,
free.
that's
That's crazy.
only 19% of the people actually beat the game.
No, this is the shit that pissed me off.
And I was one of those 19%.
Isn't that on Game Pass too? That's on Game Pass, right?
And I paid for the
it's
game.
even on Game Pass.
Yeah, they downloaded it, played it for 5 minutes, hated it, and shut it off because it's not a shooter and it's not a sports game.
Yeah,
Because if
That's true.
most of the people, they playing NBA 2K, they playing Madden, they playing Call of Duty. That's it. And they playing GTA 5.
But that's what they're
Them
playing
the
on.
main
They're
fucking
playing that on
games.
PlayStation too. Also, like if you look at the they're playing Horizon, they're playing exclusives on PlayStation, but like everybody in casuals, they're all playing the same shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me tell you the
Yeah.
shit I got to deal with. All right. So on Twitter, I sometimes I post games and stuff. I see other post games, and a lot of the PlayStation 4 games are single player. A lot of the replies from the Xbox games, oh, those games are one and done. We're not going to bother with that. Obviously talking shit to exclusives. So when I saw those repeated comments, I asked the question. So you're telling me because these single players are one and done, you're not gonna fuck with it? And they're like, yeah, we're all about the multiplayer online and all this shit, right? So then I'm like, so now we know the reason why Quantum Break failed. So no longer give me that bullshit about 720p or the media bias. You motherfuckers didn't support it because you don't give a shit about one and done games. Because Quantum Break is a 6 to 8 hour single player experience. One and done, just by your definition. Boy, did they change their tune real quick now. They're like, no, the media. No. You showed your true colors. You showed your true colors. You can't come back now. There's no going home. You can't come home now, like as you guys said. Nah. Don't change that tune now. Now we know the truth. You motherfuckers. Yo, I had Xbox dudes, gamers, that tell me they will not turn on their console if their internet is out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you won't even play like The Witcher or Fallout or another single player game and shit? Like, they'll be like, nope.
Like
If the internet is
Wolfenstein.
out, they don't give a fuck about it. And I'm like, wow, bro, you guys are ruining the industry, bro.
But they want to play Cuphead. That doesn't have multiplayer.
Like, what the fuck?
Wolfenstein, one of the best shooters of this generation.
Yeah,
No
they slept on that game.
They want to play Super Lucky Tail, right? I don't think that has multiplayer.
Well, out of the people
Oh, that's wow.
out of the people that actually purchased Quantum Break, only 3% beat it. 3.75% beat it.
Look, and I'll tell you, one of the person that said that was Livewire who told me that shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So he tried to use an analogy. Well, if your phone, is not connected to a Wi-Fi or cell network, are you going to use it? And I told him, if I need to use the calculator, yes. What the fuck does the calculator have to do with the fucking Wi-Fi cell? There's shit on the phone I can use without internet. Like, it has a lever, perfect for fucking, doing housework and shit like that. It has a calculator. It has a camera.
You could use it for music.
You could use it for music.
Yeah,
That you have saved. You can watch movies that you have saved on it. There's a lot of shit you could do with your phone in events that you don't have connectivity. How about on an airplane? A lot of airplane flights don't have Wi-Fi. So guess what? You use your phone or tablet for the shit you have recorded on the phone. There's other features. So that shit, I didn't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? So when they try to look at us as, PlayStation community, PC, or Nintendo community as killing or being biased to Xbox, I'm like, no, you guys are your own worst enemies. You understand what I'm saying? Because all you give a shit about is if Microsoft is not good at it, instead of stepping up and telling them, hey, these single player experiences are important. Hey, these offline games are important. Hey, these Japanese games are important. You're purposely accepting their weakness just because you don't want to admit that it's a flaw in their armor. And that's bad. You have to recognize the bullshit. You have to recognize what's wrong with the platform. And you have to tell Microsoft it needs to be fixed. This is why Phil Spencer is coming up with all this bullshit about single player this and not working, because he sees his community of Xbox gamers not fucking telling them that they want it. So he's going to go off the rhythm of what he sees on his platform. You understand what I'm saying? When he sees these single player games only have 1.8% beat, he's going to be like, nobody wants to play this shit. So I'm not going to make this shit no more. You see what I'm saying?
Plus, if all they ever do is get on Twitter and suck his dick, he ain't going to try to improve anything. He thinks he's doing a great fucking job.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Stay off Twitter.
They're their own worst enemy. And ain't the PlayStation gamers that didn't buy Quantum Break. You guys didn't buy Quantum Break. We had nothing to do with that.
Listen, I bought Quantum. Quantum broke.
She bought it.
I bought Quantum broke and I beat it. I
beat the thing 100%.
I bought it, but I didn't even beat it because I thought it sucked ass. I turned it off halfway through.
I 100% of that game.
It's decent. It just go ahead.
You know what? We ain't gonna turn this because you know what? We can keep going on and on about this shit with Microsoft. We can keep going on. Let's save that. You Puerto Rico, you laughing? You better stop laughing over there.
I got the hot-blooded Irish princess. I got her hot. Got that blood boiling.
About this shit, but you know what? We're gonna get off Microsoft because you know what? We can talk about this shit all night long. We can. It won't end. We can have a 20-hour podcast, 24-hour podcast, and still nobody will listen to what we're saying. They won't listen to the truth. So we're going to move on to something else. We got a couple other subjects.
Yeah, I want to add vinegar to the room. I just want to add one more vinegar to the room.
Go ahead.
The platinum for Bloodborne is at 7.2%. People are platting Bloodborne more than beating Xbox games. That's it. That's what I want to say.
That says a hell of a lot. Bloodborne is
that shit ain't no easy to play either.
I got the platinum Bloodborne. I don't go around bragging around it like some people do. But
you're the man, though. You're the man, though.
But like playing it by yourself is just very difficult.
It's not as hard as people make it out to be. My 14-year-old platted it when it came out.
Damn.
Man, your 14-year-old, man, don't play your 14-year-old. He has skills.
But if he plays Souls games a lot, it's not really that hard.
Yes, he does. He plays a lot of Souls games.
Yeah, they got skill. He or she.
Listen,
I think
I'm gonna
he
shout out
played
to
Dark Souls 3 recently.
Oh damn!
I'm gonna shout out to Eighth. Eighth is a motherfucking gamer. I'm gonna say that. Eighth can game. Yes, he can. That kid can game.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
He can game. I know that for a fact. That kid can game.
He ain't too far off from platting that game, The Surge.
His name is Eighth? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is dope. So your grandkid's gonna be 9th?
Probably, yeah.
That is dope.
If I'm around to nickname it at the time that it's born.
That's dope.
All right,
he's gonna have it printed on his diapers.
All right, guys, do me a favor. I gotta talk to the mods. Mods, do me a favor. Get rid of those jackasses talking shit in the chat about Hard 8 and BG and all that bullshit.
Yeah, we don't need that here.
We don't need that here. Get rid of them. Odds are, you know who you are. Get rid of them. All right.
She got her secret,
we don't need that. We don't need that shit here. Yeah, you know I do. You know I do.
Yeah.
You know I do. I don't play. But let's move on. Next subject. Next subject is going to be Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Now, okay, I played it. Playing it, and oh God. I didn't expect not to want to play it, but I'm off about the controls, okay? I really wish the main thing is they would have fixed those fucking camera angles.
There are some problems with the game.
Okay?
Yeah.
Crash, to me, is a reminder. And this is my opinion, guys. Not mine, not the podcast, not anybody else's opinion. It's my opinion. It's a reminder that some games just weren't as good as I remember them being. This game, is it hard? Not hard? Is it in a good way or for any good reason? Again, my opinion, okay? So to the people that bought Crash Bandicoot on this panel, too hard for you?
No.
Or do you feel that the game was remade, and do you feel the game was remade in the right way or the wrong way?
I heard that
It was
the reason why, like,
it was remade like a mirror image.
You heard. What is your thoughts on the game?
I beat Crash
to
1
me,
last week. I didn't have a problem with it. Like, I seen a video where they said that he was made like square shaped originally back in the day, so that's why when you would jump.
I ain't talking about that.
Yeah, but
Shout out
Go
to
ahead.
shout out to Sick Humor TV, man. He did get the plat. I watched him get the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, people say it's more harder than what it was because of the way it was built. It's the way it is now. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
there's some changes that they made in the way that they made the game that I don't. It's not a match. It's not a matter of it being made intentionally harder. It's just there's some changes they made to the systems that you don't really see, as far as like how his physics are done and things like that.
you fall quicker.
That you have to get used to it. It's just like getting used to the original game. Honestly, I feel like people that never played the original would have an easier time adjusting to it than people that beat the original. Like, for example, when you jump up and land on a box, in the original, he'd kind of jump up and then just land flat. But now you can kind of jump up on it and you could slide a little bit backwards off the box, or you can slide a little bit forwards off of it. And one thing that I experienced was when making a big jump across a deep pit or whatever, that it's only happened 3 or 4 times, but halfway through my jump, it would be like I hit an invisible brick wall and I would just fall flat down.
Yeah, it's almost
as if it's like the game lost halfway through the jump, has stopped reading the input from my controller, so it doesn't realize I'm still pushing left.
Exactly. But what I'm also saying, Seventh, is do you think they should have changed the camera system on here?
Well, the thing of it is,
those camera angles are horrible. They could have panned the camera
back a little bit, but then it would have looked different. I mean, you got to remember, this is a game that was built that wasn't built for widescreen originally. So they converted it, into widescreen with much sharper resolution, but they kept that camera right behind the character. Whereas, it might be at least a little bit easier to see if they pulled it back just a little bit. There's so much about what made that game was due to the limitations of the systems as they were. And part of that, and that kind of goes into the whole thing that you're talking about, TFP, about the game not being as good as you remember it, or it's not as good as a game as you thought it once was. Some games age better than others. You could pop in, those of you who are old enough to have played NES, you could pop in Ninja Gaiden or Mega Man or Super Mario Brothers 3 or any of these, and they're just as good as you remember them ever being. But then that 32-bit era, that early 3D era, you pop some of those in, and they're just not as good as you remember them. Like, I'll bet you that there's a couple of people on this panel that really loved Battle Arena Toshinden when it came out.
Yeah, I did.
But I bet if you tried to sit down and play it now, you'd hate its fucking guts.
I played it like last year. It's fucking garbage. But
Exactly.
Here's the thing. So similar, me and you, we were both similar. And I think maybe Rambo. Some of us in Rambo too. We grew up on Atari and NES. Here's the thing. Here's the younger generation don't realize. Yeah, you're in the group too. Here's something younger generation don't realize. So like the Super Nintendo games, the Genesis games, they were fleshed out 16-bit games, and those games aged well because they were fleshed out, and to this day they still hold their value. Well, I don't say value, but the gameplay is still great. The PS1 N64 era, this was their first attempt at 3D. So a lot of projects, while at the time it looked great, but in reality they weren't really good. If that's why, like for example, Toshinden, if you play that now, it's garbage. But back then we didn't see it because it was more than what we had before. So just the fact that it was full 3D and the graphics, we ignored the actual gameplay. You understand? A lot of these games were trial and run errors because they were experimenting with gameplay. And then with the PS2, a lot of the gameplay got fleshed out and got improved, and so on, so on, so on with every console generation. But a lot of games during the PS1 era and N64 era, and during that time, and all the consoles, Saturn, a lot of games, if you play them now, they weren't that good because those were experimental games where they just thought of an idea and they did it, but it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of those games were the precepts to some of the games we have now. Like, for example, everybody talks about, you know, Gears of War and its cover system and how it whatever. That wasn't the first game that had a cover system.
It was
Kill
50%
Switch.
bulletproof, right?
But Kill Switch was garbage. But it still was a cover system. You understand what I'm saying? You know, a lot of games in the past were precepts to the good fleshed out games we play today and stuff. PS1 era, SSDR era was attributed to that era. Some games were great, other games was like, you know, if you play them now. That's what I have to say.
All right.
Bueller?
Well, we're gonna move on. Okay.
I'm not. I just find Crash to be the exact, pretty much almost the exact same as what I remember. I mean, obviously there's a little bit like different things, like with the jumps, like what Seventh was saying was about the. I think it's actually just basically based on the shape of the character versus and the widescreen versus, you know, like the old CRT TVs we used to play on. I think they did a wonderful job though, like bringing almost an exact replica of what it was into today's time. Like they didn't want to change it to today's gameplay experience. They kept the exact same experience almost. I would say pretty much almost 100%, and kept everything almost back to the original, but just made it look like it belonged in today's time. For that, I think they did a really good job. Like it would have been great to see them actually bring it to like a full reboot to where it was like Crash in today's time frame, gameplay wise and everything. And maybe the sales of this, because it sold like crazy, man. It sold better than
It's been a tremendous hit.
Yeah, it sold better than what Horizon Zero Dawn did on Amazon in the first 2 days.
Exactly.
Than what Horizon Zero Dawn did on Amazon the first 2 days. So
I had to go pick mine up at a GameStop because they had sold out the first day on Amazon.
yeah.
On Amazon, you can get it for $7 if you manage to do that deal thing. I think people were getting it for $7.
Hopefully people hopefully that like the sales of this will like generate another deal between, you know, PlayStation and Activision,
like Spyro.
It's maybe Spyro or
New Crash.
or even do a new Crash. Yeah, to say, okay, looks like people actually do want Crash. Why not? Let's go ahead and let's do a new Crash.
Remaster the racing game. That's what people do want, the racing game.
Well, not even remaster. Let's go ahead and bring out a whole new Crash. You know, like actually, so now that they've got all the artwork and everything for Crash, like now build a whole new game with Crash in it.
I think just basically off just off the sales alone, you definitely see a new Crash coming. I don't know if it's coming this generation, but it's coming.
We got an announcement at San Diego Comic-Con for Crash.
If they put out Crash Team Racing, that thing would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, I would buy that. Now that's my alley.
That might actually be the next one that's coming out, because I mean, I know that's what everybody's clamoring for and wondering why it wasn't included in this, but maybe they're just seeing how this goes to see if they're going to do the Crash Team Racing after that. But the sales went like this, sold like crazy. I'd love to see what the final numbers are on this, or even after a month's worth of numbers, I'd love to see what they are, because imagine they're pretty damn high, and this actually might end up being one of the better selling exclusives on next PlayStation, which is going to be kind of weird. Where everybody said that nobody wanted Crash, everybody hated Crash. You know, people just asking for it, nobody's going to buy it, and this thing you can't.
Well, I tell you, anybody. I will say this though: any of you who are listening to this that went out and bought Crash and are actually enjoying it, and you're happy with this new iteration of this game that you've played years and years ago. Insomniac already did this a year ago by completely remaking the original Ratchet and Clank game.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking phenomenal. If you haven't gone out and bought that yet, it's really affordable now, and it's a really fantastic 3D platformer. I mean,
it's a definite game. You must
really
right
good, and
it's
one of the must-have games for PS4. If you don't have it now, you really ought to go get it.
It's dirt cheap too. It's like $10 or something like that.
Because sadly, it has not sold as well as Crash Bandicoot did.
And it should.
And I think it should have, because I mean, like it was a complete reboot, but I mean, like they.
I heard the movie bombed though, like the movie.
Well, yeah, the movie did bomb.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if that's why the game didn't do well, is because people think that it's a game based on the movie.
Yeah, it might be, because like most people, whenever they see a movie and a game come out, like they think nope, like they just kind of stay away from it, because usually those things are trash, but they don't realize that like Ratchet and Clank isn't based on the movie. The movie was based on the game.
Right. If you play the game and play through it, you don't have to watch the movie, because the movie is basically all of the game's cutscenes put together.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful game, man.
And God,
It's
if
a great
if
game.
Naughty Dog or one of like Sony, was that Sony Bend, give this treatment to like the Jack and Daxter series.
Oh God, that would be so
Bring
nice.
back Ape Escape, Spyro.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I'd love that.
I
I
would
think
love to see.
Uncharted kind of helped it too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that probably didn't play Crash that wasn't that young. That's young now. They played it on Uncharted 4, and it probably turned them on to it. Like when I played it on Uncharted 4, that was the first time I ever played Crash.
Oh wow.
I just wasn't
wow.
interested in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's
So,
move on, guys. All right, are you guys done or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Alright.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on because we've got 2 more things and we're going to open it up to the podcast. So the next thing is, the first thing I want to do before we move on to the last subject is I want to give some shout outs, okay? First, I want to shout out people in the chat, 2 people especially, which is Gruta Legends and Sick Humor TV. And then I shout out some other people, which is the first one is Ryan. I hope I get the numbers right. 553298. And the other night, and because I was on his podcast, and to Rambo for being on Game Talk podcast. I appreciate y'all. The invites. And Rambo, I'm sorry that the voice and everything was going crazy.
Oh, that's fine.
But I'll be back. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. And I also want to thank Mr. Corleone for his recent video. Appreciate you on the podcast and the video you did. I appreciate it very much. Yes, I did see it. So give a thank to all the subs that I got over the last couple of days, and to everybody that's watching this video tonight. Podcast, appreciate you a lot. Okay. Now we're going to move off my last subject, but then we're going to open it up to the podcast. 2 months, we had games released that I'm hyped for. Okay. People even got their Destiny 2 beta early. And next month, but I'm going to tell you, next month, I'm going to have Matterfall and Hellblade and a few other new games. I personally can't wait. I really can't. But we have some releases for the rest of the year that are going on, and I'm interested in knowing 5 games from the members of the podcast. What 5 games are you looking forward to the most this year? To have that feeling that you just gotta have. Okay, we're gonna start off with you, Rambo.
Oh wow. Man, you're gonna really make me think on this one. Well, definitely for sure. Destiny 2.
Okay.
I've already, yeah. I mean that there's just no doubt about that. Does Uncharted Lost Legacy count?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
If it's new,
Hell yeah.
it counts. Go ahead.
Okay, well, definitely that. I'm also looking forward to the new Wolfenstein, like that. Wolfenstein is my thing. I love Wolfenstein.
Me too.
And I guess the next one that I can think of off the top of my head, Shadow of War. Shadow of Mordor. I've platinumed that in twice, so I cannot wait for Shadow of War to come out.
Okay. All right. Well, you got one more. Yeah, that was 4.
One more. Let's see. Coming out this year. Yeah, coming out this year. Assassin's Creed Origins. Easily. Yeah, like Assassin's Creed is another one of my things. So.
What about you, 7th?
Well, some of the stuff that's coming out I'm excited about, but I won't necessarily be able to buy because I'm still scraping my pennies for Retropalooza in Arlington in October.
Listen, that's fine. But what are your most anticipated games that if you could have, that's what they're talking about. If you could have, what would you get?
All right. Well, next month there's Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah.
Steelbook edition, $29.95. It's really cheap, guys. Got to check that one out. The new Wolfenstein, The new Mordor game that was just brought up. South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Oh yeah.
I figured that'd be one of your games.
And this one I'm really excited for, even though no one's talking about it, is Ys 8, or as some of you would pronounce it, Wise 8.
I'm getting
I
that.
love the Ys series. It's one of my absolute favorite RPG series of all time. Love the Ys series, and I can't wait to play it.
Is that how it's actually supposed to be pronounced?
It's pronounced Ys.
Oh my god! I've been pronouncing that thing wise since day one.
I was calling it East.
Holy shit! You were calling it
I don't even know what the hell y'all are talking about.
wise.
It's a JRPG. It's actually a long it's a long time JRPG.
Everything is ease.
Oh, are you talking about the YS?
Yeah, that's it.
Wait.
Pronounced Ys.
Ease.
All right, 7th. People don't know what you're talking about. Explain to them the game a little bit, if you got a second.
Well, it's kind of a Zelda. It's kind of a Zelda-like action RPG. You run around, you hack and slash, and it stars a redheaded guy named Adol. He's been the star of all of them, and it goes. This series goes all the way back to like the second one. The first one was on like Sega Master System, and like the second one was on TurboGrafx CD, and the third one you could get on TurboGrafx CD, Super Nintendo, and Genesis, if that tells you how old the series is. But I mean, if you like the old school Zelda type games, that's what this series is. But now it's in the third dimension. One of the very best games you could get for the Vita was Ys Memories of the Fistum. Celceta, yeah. Memories of Celceta. That's a fantastic game on the Vita. I probably 60, 70 hours into that game easy, and I haven't even I didn't plat it or nothing. There's still lots of stuff left to do, but it, for whatever reason, it's like diehard Japanese RPG fans know what it is, but a lot of more the people that have just played like Final Fantasy and Persona and Zelda and stuff like that, they're not as familiar with it, and they really should be, because it's an amazing series.
Well, that's why I wanted you to tell them a little bit about it, because some people aren't familiar.
Man,
so I wanted you to
YS8.
give them a little hype about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now it's
Do it.
spelled
Game of
YS. So, if you were going to pronounce it the way it's spelled, it would be like Wise 8. YS8, but it's pronounced Ys.
Okay. I'm just like actually just spelling out the two letters separately, like YS8, because I didn't know anything about the things, and I was like, I didn't even know there was a YS, from the other sevens. But
Ys Origin came out a few months ago on PSN.
okay, see, I wouldn't.
That was a port of a PC game.
Yeah, that was the PC port. I think it was about like $20 or something like that.
I might have to check it out.
That one's almost like an Ys roguelike, because it all takes place in one tower, and you have to make your way up the tower and whatnot.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of like playing like Fatal Labyrinth or something like that.
Yeah. All right, Porter, what are your 5 most, if you could have them over the rest of the year, what are your most 5 anticipated games that you would have?
Number 1 on the list is Destiny. So I'm right there with my man Rambo. I enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to the second one. The second game is going to be Uncharted Lost Legacy. The third one is Frozen Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn's Frozen Wild DLC. That's the third one. The fourth one is damn, I just had it on top of my head. Hellblade. Yeah, Hellblade. I'm getting to.
I have Hellblade yet.
Yeah, Hellblade's on the list also. I'm gonna support that game, and then it's a toss-up between Call of Duty World at War II or Shadow of War.
Damn, you got a toss-up on the 5th one.
Yeah, the 5th one is a toss-up. It's the reason why I didn't put COD Definite, because I want to see the reviews, because everybody's hyped, but the games might end up shit. So so if the game ends up shit and they didn't really fix the problems, boots on the ground. If the game's not boots on the ground, I'm gonna go with Shadow of War over Call of Duty.
Oh, and even though I was only supposed to have 5, I'm not gonna lie, I do really want to play the new Mario too.
Okay.
No, you can hit that one. That's all right. Then we got next up. We got Frozen.
All right. I got 6, but I'm only going to name 5.
No, if you want names,
all right,
listen,
I'm going to name.
we can make an exception.
All right, I got Splatoon 2. That's going to be the best shooter of the year, man. I'm telling you, people hating on Splatoon. Wait.
I'm sorry, man.
If he wants to love his, let him love his Splatoon.
But didn't Splatoon 1 win Best Shooter of the Year?
Yeah, I'm just saying, people hate on Splatoon, but
I ain't hating on it. I don't. That's not. I don't have.
I know some people don't like it, but people obviously love that game.
Hey man,
man.
you play that Squid Kids all you want. It's
Right.
all you, man. I'm not gonna knock you for that.
Yeah, I gotta be the Nintendo guy. So Mario Rabbids. Everybody hate on Mario Rabbids. Look at that.
That look like a good game.
That XCOM Mario. I gotta love that. Sonic Mania. It's about time we get a real Sonic game, like the Genesis games. Sonic Mania looks amazing. I'm tired of these 3D Sonics. We need to take it back to the classics where Sonic began.
Yeah, just make it better in Sonic 4. Good God.
Yeah, Sonic Mania looks great. Also, Yakuza Kiwami. Yakuza is very underrated. A lot of people out here claim to like Shenmue and claim to be fans of Shenmue. You should be playing Yakuza Kiwami. It's only going to be like $20-$30.
Yep.
Ys 8, as 7th level said earlier, and Mario Odyssey.
I knew you was gonna say Mario Odyssey. I was waiting.
Mario's going to be the best.
You know what? I'd be excited for that Mario Rabbids game if it didn't have the fucking rabbits in it. Fuck, those little bastards annoy the shit out of me.
Wait.
They remind me of the minions. They look like little rabbit minions.
Listen, I got wild rabbits in my yard. They come up to me and they'll feed for me. What you want, rabbits?
I don't have a problem with rabbits. I can't stand rabbits.
Oh,
they look like minions.
You always got something to say.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there, Seven.
For me, they're like mimes or circus clowns. They just irritate me when I look at them.
Turtles either. What animal do you like? You're not an animal activist.
I'm scared of real rabbits.
You don't like Ninja Turtles.
I like
Ninja
Turtles. It's one of my favorite arcade games. I just don't want a turtle as a pet.
You don't like turtles.
I just don't want a turtle as a pet. It's a reptile. They smell and they give you.
And they stink. Yeah.
No, they don't smell.
If you don't take care of them, they do.
If you don't take care of them, they do. But if you take care of them, they don't stink at all. So there you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Corleone. If you don't take
like
care
a turd
of them,
wrapped in an old sock.
You must be talking about yourself when you don't shower. What's going on? Let me stop. All right, Mr. Corleone.
All right.
What's your game? What's your most anticipated game?
Look at her changing the subject so I don't have a comeback.
My first game is Lost Legacy. Y'all. Uncharted, that's my shit. My second game is Hellblade. Ninja Theory, man. I got a video coming out about that tomorrow too. 3 would be can I do 6? It's like between Cuphead and Wolfenstein, but
go ahead and do 6.
I've been thirsty for Cuphead. I've been thirsty for Cuphead for a minute. Wolfenstein 2, I beat Wolfenstein
what, 10
1.
years?
Nah, yeah, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. Wolfenstein 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Ni no Kuni 2. I'm definitely hyped for Ni no Kuni.
Ni no Kuni's coming in January.
Yeah, got the lady.
What?
Yeah, I got the lady.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
It was actually
surrounded
smart.
by too much stuff, man.
Hopefully they added familiars because I kind of have an issue with that.
It was going to get killed where it launched.
It was going to launch in November. That game would have got slaughtered.
Yeah, there was no point. There's no point even if it even coming out by releasing in November.
I just hope it lives up to the original because Studio Ghibli wasn't involved in this.
Oh, for
There's
real?
no familiars. That's my problem. I like the Pokemon-esque things in the game. In the first one.
They don't have that?
No, they took the familiars out. That's my problem with it. Like,
man, that was the whole point of that game.
The combat looks more like Tales of, and I don't really care for the Tales of games like the newer ones. It looks kind of like easy. You know what I mean? I don't like that easy approach.
My feelings is
I'm still gonna get it though.
That we ruined your Christmas, man. Man, fuck
man.
Christmas. He like, fuck Christmas.
I guess I'll have to give it the card then. I'll probably have to put card in there.
He's like, fuck it. Like,
Nah,
fuck it.
because I was really hyped for Nino Cooney too. Like, I really
How you
wanted
go
that.
from Nino Cooney to COD?
I don't know how that game is.
I'm versatile. I play
shit.
some everything, bro. I play some everything.
So that's just crazy. That shit was like, that's just a huge time right there.
I don't know if that game's going to be the same without familiars in it, but at least it don't got rabbits in it.
This is true.
I'm not good at
combat system of rabbits,
so
though.
when I seen it, it had that Zelda kind of feel to it, and I was like, yeah, I'm with it. Like, I'll play that. I'm playing the actual the first one. I'm actually playing it on PSC. I'm playing it on PlayStation now, and
I actually platted the first one.
That first game was amazing. Like,
yeah, it's raw. It's raw. I give it.
Like forever, but I got it.
I'm still gonna get the second one, but I hope they do something. I hope they said there's something in place for familiars, so I'm hoping that, like, I love that whole Pokemon-esque thing, like you get in these games. Like,
man, that shit coming January, they bogus as hell, boy.
That's pretty good, man.
I mean, I agree with y'all when they do need to push it to January because that is a bad slide.
Well, we don't even know what else is coming out in January. They might put some more stuff in there.
Why do you think Sony never releases any of their big games during the holiday season? They always wait till the first 3 months of the following year.
Yep,
very
smart. They don't want their exclusives to get slaughtered by Call of Duty and shit.
Yeah, I think their only 2 games is Knack. I think Knack 2 and Gran Turismo. And that's pretty much it for the holiday.
As far as first party stuff, yeah.
Yeah, as far as first party. Yeah, but I mean, Knack 2 and Gran Turismo are both releasing before any of the big third parties are. So they're doing it like in August or whatever like that.
I mean, the only time they've ever made a real exception
October.
to that was like the first 3 Uncharted games and the first 2 Little Big Planets. Other than that, if you think about it, God of War 3, that was in the Killzone 2, Killzone 3, both the infamous games. They all released in that January to April / early May time frame. It's because they're avoiding the Battlefields and the Call of Duties. And
well, as time went on, and they're seeing like what Uncharted numbers could do, or what they were doing with releasing down there, and possibly even looking at Microsoft's numbers as well too, compared to the third parties. They made the change of not releasing anything down there and just wait until the beginning of next year. Whereas Microsoft still is releasing in that same time frame. Like they're releasing almost every one of their exclusives in the holiday.
Yeah, they're sacrificing their sales so that they can say, "Look, we've got exclusives coming out for holiday season."
Yeah,
you got the games because they're all buying Call of Duty and Star Wars Battlefront 2 and all that shit.
Yep.
Also, don't know what PlayStation's going to bring out because they got PlayStation Experience coming out.
They're not bringing. But they're not going to be bringing anything major like the end of this year, simply because they already have
by the end of the year. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not going to happen because they don't.
It will be December. If anything they release, will be December.
You were talking about overall.
Yeah, I think the lineup that they got is what they're going to.
We still haven't seen it. They didn't show anything of that Dreams game this year at E3, and we still haven't heard anything about the new game from
Sucker Punch, yeah.
And Capcom has a few IPs apparently that they're working on. Capcom's working on probably more than 4 games right now.
Oh, did you guys see that rumor that's floating around? People claiming that Sony bought off Capcom to keep their games off of the Switch or the.
Yeah, I seen that thing about Monster Hunter. Like they kept it a secret. They didn't want Nintendo to know about it because of they were mad about the Street Fighter V deal, so they didn't want Nintendo to have Monster Hunter. But Xbox has it, so I don't understand.
Yeah,
if Sony was going to pay to have it off of a console, I think they would have actually paid to have it off of Xbox
PC
more
as
than
well. So
they would have paid. They would have paid for exclusivity. They wouldn't have paid to keep it off of a Nintendo platform, only.
They would have paid to keep it off every platform except their own.
Not on Nintendo. That's why.
Except for PC.
But people seem to think that Switch can run every game. They're saying that Lawbreakers could run on.
But that reasoning was stupid. They have to say
it is a stupid reasoning. Yes, it is a stupid reasoning. But what I'm saying though is that these people that own it are these Nintendo people that they seem to think that Switch can handle every game because it can handle Nintendo games. But Nintendo games aren't as demanding as these other games are.
And some devs are just lazy.
Severely scaled back, but yeah.
They don't want to work on the Switch. Like that, dev's got to do a whole new probably.
Well, yeah, because they gotta scale it. They gotta scale everything back.
It's the same shit that Nintendo diehards did with the Wii U. You know, look at all that time that you know, guys like Dr. Trey and some of these others that talked about all the secret sauce that was in the Wii U and how great it was. You know, it was going to be able to compete, and you know, just within no time, games were coming out that there was no way that the Wii U could do them. And it's the same thing now with the Switch. They know exactly what's in that thing. They know exactly how much power it's got, but you still hear these stories and see these comments on Twitter, you know, saying there's no reason why that game couldn't be put on the Switch. Well, yeah, there are. It may not be the reasons that they're given because they're trying to be nice about it. They don't want to come out and say, we can't put it on the Switch because the Switch has shit for graphics.
Every gamer should realize, you know, if they're in the conversation, that the Switch is based off mobile technology. You know what I'm saying? Come on, the Switch doesn't have a dedicated GPU like what Xbox and PlayStation have. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. It doesn't even have the memory. Like, just stop. You're not going to get most of these games. Nintendo, the Switch cannot have a game that's made with 5 gigs of RAM.
And that's not to say that it's a bad system either.
Yeah, no.
None of us are saying that.
It just is what it is. It has to
guys, excuse me 1 second. Mods, do me a favor. Get rid of that bullshit in the chat. Please. Be strong and bust their asses, all right?
I think some people
need
to
talk
just
about me, people busting my ass. No, bust ass.
As a Switch owner, I could say I know what I bought it for. I don't care for like third party games in general. I like the JRPGs and stuff. The quirky quote unquote with the Xbox guys called Jap crap. I like to play those kind of games.
I have it for the first party stuff. That's what I have.
And the first party stuff as well. And I like portable. I like handhelds. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing of it is
the Xbox guys, they like Korean RPGs now. That's their thing now.
I look at Switch. You know, the thing that you hear everywhere, it's the console you could take on the go. I don't look at it as that. I look at it as a handheld you can plug into your TV.
Exactly.
To me,
that's exactly what it is.
It's the Vita 2. That's exactly what it is.
And if you have a Switch,
if you took a Vita and you combined it with the PlayStation TV and gave it a bigger screen and detachable controllers, there you go.
If you have a Switch, do not expect. I don't know why people are expecting these big third-party games to be on the Switch. You can't do it. You can't expect it. People thought Call of Duty was going to be on there. It can't handle Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard that they trying to put Call of Duty on there.
They're not putting older Call of Duty. They're not putting that new Call of Duty on there. They'll probably put Black Ops on there.
Maybe on the 360 version.
They'll put COD Remastered on there. That's what they'll do.
They think because they can get, you know, a downscaled Skyrim on there that they can put like The Witcher 3 on it. They don't. They just haven't.
Yeah, they haven't figured out that Skyrim can run on a damn toaster at this point.
Yeah, not only that, because the Skyrim
on mobile. Like
the Skyrim they're running is the PS3 360 one, and that was made with less than half a gig. So yeah, you could play that one, you know. But you're not going to get Fallout 4. Like, stop it. Enough with the nonsense.
It's a fantastic handheld, and that's what people need to start thinking about it as. And it's Nintendo combining their markets into one market. That's what it is. And you know, you're not hearing a whole lot of talk about the next 3DS or anything. And the reason being is most likely because you've already got it in your hand.
I hope.
I want one, but that shit too high, man.
Reggie's talking about they keeping both out there. They keeping 3DS out there for a minute, so
they need to step.
There ain't a whole lot announced for
package or some.
You know, Reggie says that about everything. He said that about the Wii when there was only 2 games scheduled to come out that year. You know, that kind of shit. So yeah, technically there is some more stuff coming out for 3DS, but it's a freaking trickle, bro.
I gotta tell you guys something. I love you guys because you guys can take one subject, finish it, and go on to another one.
My bad.
And
I went into Nintendo. My bad.
No. Frozen. Don't say my bad.
Nintendo winning
cool.
shit.
I like that shit. I love it. because that's what this podcast is about. New information to people. It's a gaming podcast. That's what I love. That I'm trying to tell you. I respect you all for that. I really do. But I want to do one thing because we're going on a lot of hours. But I want to see if anybody has anything to bring up. All right, does. What about this Sagat shit, Puerto Rock? You were talking about?
Oh yeah, so supposedly the next part of the DLC, Sagat is going to be one of the characters, and I'm excited because he's one of my favorite Street Fighter characters to play. So that's going to bring me back to playing the game again, and then I'm going to use them. I'm gonna practice, and I'm gonna come find you, Princess. I ain't pulling no kid smooth. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you for what you did to me. I'm gonna find you for what you did to me. I'm gonna come back. I got my boy. I got my boy.
6-hour road trip.
Oh, you challenging me, Puerto Rock?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, it's a challenge. If it's true, I hope it's true.
He's gonna put it up on his channel.
Hell yeah, and I'm gonna edit all the losses, and I'm just gonna put all the wins.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Next Gen did that shit and lost.
Did he?
To the Titanfall Princess. Shit. Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
He lost on there because I was in the chat, and he lost every round with me. Yes, he did. He did not beat me.
I beat him in that tournament too.
White
he
girl.
didn't want to fight
he
me
said,
anymore.
"No, white girl can beat me," and I said, "I just did."
What?
So there you go.
Oh snap! That's what's up, man.
They also said Sakura is also included. Sakura.
Yeah, there's also Sakura, the female Ryu.
Yep.
Oh,
classic fighter from rival schools.
Yeah.
I got one thing I wouldn't mind bringing up.
What's up?
Real quick. This is really only going to interest fellow retro gamers who still like to go out and buy the old shit like I do. There was a kind of a hint today on Twitter about this console that all of us retro people have been following. It's a console called the Polymega. And it was originally called the Retro Blocks, and what it is it's a modular system where you can buy different modules for it and turn it into a different system. So, for example, you buy this one module, it's a TurboGrafx 16. You buy another module, it's a PlayStation 1. You buy another module, it's a N64 or a Nintendo Entertainment Center or a Sega Genesis. It has a different module for each old console, and so.
So you can use the classic cartridges.
Yes, you use the original discs and the original carts, and you just plug one piece out, plug the other one in, it becomes a different system. It's called the Polymega. It's coming out next year, and one of the guys behind Polymega hinted today on Twitter that it was entirely possible that a Saturn module could be released for it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
You know what we were talking about earlier with how that early 32-bit with the 3D was a little bit more awkward because they were still experimenting with 3D, and of course, when it first came out, like the Sony the PlayStation didn't even have analog sticks at all, and the N64 only had one and whatnot. But some of the best games from that era are on the Saturn because they stayed 2D with a lot of their stuff. So some of the absolute best 2D games ever made were on the Saturn. And so this is a chance, aside from shitty emulation, this is a chance to for people that didn't get to experience those games that they can go out and get some of them that for not too bad of a price. And if you can't find a good working Saturn, this thing's in HD.
Oh wow. That's incredible.
And, I'm really excited for it. Yeah, they're on Twitter. It's Polymega, Polymega. They haven't announced a price yet, just that it's coming out next year, and it's a new startup company. But some of the guys that are in that started this company, they're former developers for Insomniac. They're guys that worked on Ratchet and Clank and the Resistance series, so that they know their shit. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up.
No, I appreciate that. Anybody else have anything to bring up before we close it out?
Yeah, I'm mad as hell that Nino Cooney ain't coming out this shit, man. That's some bullshit.
Dragon Ball Fighters looks amazing. Everybody see the gameplay?
Oh, I want to bring up two things, so that way the conversations can happen. So There's 2 exclusives on PlayStation 4 that nobody's really talking about, and I'm surprised.
Go ahead.
I'm surprised one of them, especially one of them. So the creators of Until Dawn, they're making another exclusive of the similar genre, but it's called Hidden Agenda, and you play the role of 2 people, a detective and a state attorney, chasing a serial killer known as the Trapper, and it's the same type of gameplay for Until Dawn. So, like, I'm surprised because a lot of people enjoyed Until Dawn. Even Yoshida one time tweeted on the article, he said that he was surprised at the success of the game, and that if he knew it was going to be more successful, it was going to be this successful, he would have put more towards advertising and got the thing out there. And I'm surprised because here they are, they're making another exclusive called Hidden Agenda, and this time around, it's not even at E3. Until Dawn was at E3.
Hidden Agenda was at E3. It was just that the pre E3 footage,
no,
like that
I'm talking about the main stage.
Oh, yeah, but remember, Hidden Agenda though was a PlayLink title. It's not going to have the same graphics as Until Dawn.
No, have you seen the video?
Yeah, but you're playing an actual movie.
It's just the same thing.
It's an actual movie, like with actual real actors.
Oh. No. Hidden Agenda, you did not see the video. It's an actual game. It's an actual game.
Yes, but you're doing it with your phone.
Yeah, but I think it's PlayLink enabled. I think it's also a single player component.
No, it's a play. You can play by yourself. Yeah, but I mean the thing is, though, it's a PlayLink game. It was advertised with PlayLink. That was one of the big games coming to PlayLink.
Yeah.
That one, and that's you. But it's basically where you have a hidden agenda. Like the whole reason for the hidden agenda is because like everybody on the PlayLink that are playing with their phones, you get to choose the ending. It's basically like choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
And you're trying to catch this guy, but you're also given a hidden agenda to maybe one of your hidden agenda is to let the killer get away, or make the detective not see this clue or whatever. So whenever you're putting your suggestions in on the things as the decisions come, you're trying to sway the decisions into another area so that way that your hidden agenda gets fulfilled.
Okay.
That's what I mean. It's kind of like, it's just a big party game, really. It's not if you're expecting like Until Dawn type of game, no.
Interesting.
Didn't they say the next game was going to be multiplat, like their next game?
Supposedly it was. Yeah, supposedly though they were making a multiplat. Oh, they had an article saying they want to make a multiplat.
Yeah, this one's not going to be.
But Xbox gamers they buy no games, so why would you go multiplat?
What was the other one? No one's talking.
Oh, the other one. All right, the other one is it's an indie game, but it's the graphics looks just as good as fucking Final Fantasy 15, and it's called Lost Soul Aside.
That guy, he made it by himself.
Yeah, he made it by himself, and his name is Yang Bing. But when you look at the gameplay, the graphics looks like Final Fantasy 15, but the gameplay is like a Bayonetta style gameplay. It looks fantastic.
It's called Lost Soul. Lost
Soul.
Soul.
Yeah. Look at it. It's Lost Soul Aside.
Huh. As long as it's not like Final Fantasy 15 as far as gameplay.
No. It's a Bayonetta. It's a Bayonetta type game.
I'm cool with that.
The combat. You gotta check it out. It's on YouTube. Lost Soul Aside. The graphics are like Final Fantasy 15-ish, but the gameplay is straight up Bayonetta. Oh man, it looks amazing. It looks so good.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta spread that word out, man. And he made the game by himself. I was like, that's crazy.
Sony picked, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And they picked up the rights. Yeah, they picked up the rights from him to make it exclusive. The broke company, the company with no money.
What did y'all think about that Days Gone trailer that they showed the other day? What was that, yesterday, right?
Was it like another path, right?
They showed another one?
Path, right?
Yeah, and they showed snow and some other shit.
Oh, they show weather and shit like that? So there's probably seasons?
Yeah. I'll tag you in it.
No doubt.
I'll tag you. Right.
I got to say one thing. You guys on the show are the best. That's what makes it the Irish podcast. Okay? We're going to close it out. We're going on 2 hours. We're going to close it out. And we're going to start to do our outros right now. We're going to start with Mr. Frozen. Do your outro.
Thanks for having me. A great conversation. Check me out, Frozen_Magma. I did a video like 2 weeks ago how I ripped off GameStop because screw them.
I love that one.
Yeah, you know, I had to do it before they screw over some more people. And yeah, check out my Persona 5 playthrough. I'm almost done with the game, 130 hours. Yeah, I'm doing playthrough on YouTube.
Okay.
That's it.
Mr. Corleone.
Yo, thanks everybody for coming out. Shout out to everybody that's watching and that's gonna watch it later. Be sure to check me out on Twitter at Just1Don. That's JUS the number 1DON. Check out my YouTube channel and make sure you check me out on Twitch TV. All of that, Mr. Corleone, for one word, everything. Y'all have a good one, man. Taco Friday, I'm about to get my eat on.
Rambo, go ahead.
It's Rambo's Corner, you know, Twitter, YouTube, Rambo's Corner with a 0. I'm actually trying to get everything set up to where I can start streaming PlayStation 4 games and Xbox One games on Mixer, because it's actually one of the better websites to use. So you can follow me there if you want to. Rambo's Corner as well, 0 on Rambo, and just look forward to seeing you on there as well. So.
Okay. 7th level.
Hello, everybody. This is 7th. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the 7th cast tomorrow or not. I'm going to try. They have me working the weekend again. Had some more people vacate employment with my company, so we're a little bit shorthanded, and they have me picking up some of the slack. I'm supposed to work Sunday, so tomorrow is my only off day, but I will try to get up at least for a couple of hours and do that for you. And, anyone just search me on YouTube if you've never heard of me. I'm also on Twitter. And, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Hey, good luck with that, 7th. In Port Rock, last but not least, we got Port Rock back from Scotland.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, and awesome podcast. Check it out. Make sure you always tune in every Friday for the best Friday night podcast on YouTube. And it's your boy, Port Rock. I'm about to do my shameless plug. Tune in Wednesdays for the 60 Frames No Light podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern. It was good rocking out with y'all.
No doubt.
Right. And this is the Titanfall Princess. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to do a shout out to Jimmy B Gaming. Your shirt was awesome. Thank you for all the fucking support. I appreciate your ass. Okay? Keep driving. Bro, keep driving. I love it. All right? And once again, I appreciate, everybody that follows us, listens to Real Gaming. And do me a favor. Before you leave, hit that like button for all of us. And you know why? Because I said so. And you're going to do it because you love me. I'm out of here.
Peace.